you look at this latest poll, and again, you know, I know people have their views of the polls, but this is a credible New York Times Siena College poll. They actually asked voters about policies from both Trump and Harris that they think could impact them in the future. And 45% of the voters say Trump's policies would actually help people like them versus just 37% for Harris. That's looking at the future, not just the past here. What do you say to that, Ian?
Well, again, there's been some Quinnipiac polls just over the last few days that suggest a different picture of the country, of people thinking that her economic or immigration or reproductive freedom plans would help them more. You know, the polls are going to kind of
hypocrisy of the left. Policy, policy, policy. The conversation is finally coming back to policy. Now, you would expect that this would be a good thing for Trump. In a sane, rational, common sense world it is. But of course,
prayers for Trump in the comments, man, because we don't know what to expect next, man. Prayers for Trump in the comments. We had an amazing day in Georgia today, though, y'all. We are skyrocketing right now. But again, you know how corrupt it is. You know how the machine is working. We're not against the candidate, so prayers for Trump in the comment section.
We don't live in that world. We live in the world of corrupt left-wing media. And so as I've been perusing the news, as I've been watching all the different networks, especially left-wing networks, I've noticed that they're trying to take the conversation back to policy, but they're trying to flip the script. I said this in my previous video. Now all of a sudden they're trying to paint Donald Trump as the one who's being vague on policy. I keep hearing it pop up, like here for instance.
Take it from the voters you need. She needs more interviews.
But can I ask you, can I say to you, like, then where is Trump having those real hard-hitting interviews where he says, I'm going to mass deport 11 million people, but he doesn't actually explain that? Why does she have to explain every nuance of every policy?
First of all, he does a ton of interviews.
Absolutely, but he doesn't answer a lot of questions.
Where is Trump having those real hard-hitting interviews where he's going into the details? Why is Kamala Harris held to an unfair expectation where she has to explain her policies? Holy crap, brain implosion moment. But the narrative is that Donald Trump is vague in his policies. He hasn't explained, and he hasn't been challenged. It's an interesting claim to make, considering both him and his running mate J.D. Vance don't stop doing interviews and, well, actually talking about policy. But anyways, that's what the left's talking about these days. But I got one clip that pretty much ends the conversation. I'm gonna do what I usually do in a lot of these videos. We're gonna compare and contrast, all right? I'm gonna show
compare and contrast, man.
You what the Kamala campaign is saying, or well, mostly what Kamala's surrogates are saying, and what
and her surrogates, I mean, just absolutely, y'all, this is the worst ticket, the worst campaign we've seen. Just being real with you. And I feel like even the next campaigns down the road won't be as worse as this one. Just saying. They're gonna go back into 2024 and say, what was going on? Not one single vote, most unpopular, worst approval rating. Then all of a sudden, the media skyrocketed her. We've allowed the media to build a candidate. Unbelievable.
What's happening on the other side, you can make the decision yourself. Are these left-wing media actors right or wrong? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So let's first start off with the Kamala campaign, shall we?
But the bottom line here, when you look at a metric like grocery prices, they're up still 20% compared to 4 years ago. And Harris was asked recently on the debate stage whether she thinks Americans are better off now than 4 years ago. And she didn't directly answer that question. So I'll ask you, does she think Americans are better off now or not?
A few moments later.
But I'm just going to follow up on the question again.
When it comes to high prices for people, the choice in the election is also very clear. And she's going to keep talking about her plans to bring down those grocery costs while Donald Trump is going to...
But haven't heard a plan yet. They should be ashamed of themselves, man. An absolute disgrace. And then the crazy thing, they think we the people are stupid, you know? Oh, he's as sharp as a tack. 81 million votes. It's a cheap fake, a deep fake. What you're seeing isn't real. That fella is as sharp as a tack. He done dropped his snow cone on the floor. His ibuprofen on the floor. I mean, unbelievable. They sent him off on another vacation. Who is running the country?
Explode them.
But let me just follow up then on that, because you said her plan to bring down grocery costs. As you know, Republicans would argue, well, they've gone up on, under the Biden-Harris administration. I'll ask the question again. Does she think Americans are better off now than 4 years ago?
Well, I think when people are running for president, they want to see, what are you going to do for me? And it's not a retrospective question. It's actually a forward-looking question. And that's what she's doing on the campaign trail every day, is saying, I understand that we have to go further for people. There are still too many people out there who are hurting. Yes, inflation has eased a little bit and prices are starting to come down, but man, we've got to go even further. And when you look at the choice on the ballot in November, it's either me or it's Donald Trump.
You see just how vapid it all is, right? All they do is make blanket statements. There's this one, for instance.
The choice in the election is also very clear, and she's going to keep talking about her plans to bring down those grocery costs while Donald Trump is going to explode them.
Kamala Harris is going to reduce grocery prices, while Donald Trump is going to explode them. You can't just say that and state it as a fact with no actual reasoning as to why, no proof, no evidence, no theory behind the claim, no just Kamala good, Trump bad. And the second part, I'm not going to replay it, it's pretty fresh in your memory. It's just word salad, empty political nonsense. Kamala Harris cares about the people, and she's going to do the right thing for the people, because the people deserve to not get ripped off by grocery chains. Again, no policy. She's asking, what are you guys going to do? Why are you not answering questions honestly? And the response is utter dishonesty. And of course, the suggestion continues to be across the board that Donald Trump doesn't have solutions. But boy, is that wrong.
My name is Barbara. I'm a mom of 3, a grandmother of 7, and 3 great-grands, a registered nurse, retired nurse. So I know the cost that goes into raising children and running a household.
Yeah.
People just can't survive now.
Yep.
How are you going to bring down the cost of food and groceries?
Good. Very good. Thank you. So we have to start always with energy. Always. I don't want to be boring about it, but there's no bigger subject. It covers everything. If you make donuts, if you make cars, whatever you make, energy is a big deal, and we're going to get that. It's my ambition to get your energy bill within 12 months down 50%. If I can do that, we've done a hell of a job. 5-0, not 15, 50.
It's a huge difference between a businessman and a puppet politician. A huge difference.
Interest rates are going to follow, and actually they're going to follow for another reason. The economy is now not good, and interest rates, you'll see they'll do the rate cut and all the political stuff tomorrow, I think. And, will he do a half a point? Will he do a quarter of a point? But the reason is because the economy is not good. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it. But we're going to get interest rates down, and we got to work with our farmers. Our farmers are being decimated right now. They're being absolutely decimated.
Backbone.
And one of the reasons is we allow a lot of farm product into our country, and we're going to have to be a little bit like other countries. We're not going to allow so much We're going to let our farmers go to work.
It's not even a debate. You have one candidate who's running on common sense, fundamental policies. You have a candidate in Donald Trump who obviously understands what inflation is, and he understands the economic components that lead to inflation. He understands money printing, high deficits, gas prices, wasteful spending. He actually gets it and addresses the root causes. Ironically enough, Kamala Harris is supposed to be an expert in tackling the root causes of major concerns and issues, but obviously that isn't the case at all. Donald Trump has solutions, good policy, and Kamala Harris has nincompoop word nonsense. Yep, I told you we were playing a game here, compare and contrast. Well, if you're an undecided voter, I just showed you a clip of Donald Trump actually talking about substantive policy and presenting a real solution, and well, here's Kamala's approach.
We really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
Yeah, first of all, thank you both for being here. And yours is a story I hear around the country as I travel. And in terms of both rightly having the right to have aspirations and dreams.
Oh my God, brother. Throw the truck in neutral and just roll it down the street.
And ambitions for your family, and working hard and finding that the American dream is, for this generation and so many recently
Okay, just put the truck in park. Just put the truck. Just put it in park, ma'am. Just put it in park.
Far more elusive than it's been. And we need to deal with that.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Empty platitude, word nonsense crap. I keep repeating it, but I'm saying it because it's true. It's the only way to describe it. Empty platitudes. We understand that the people, and we gotta get you to a place where, you know, you can thrive and survive. You know, you could just riff and just say random crap that sounds all good and fluffy, and basically, you're Kamala Harris. Empty platitude nonsense. She got asked what she's gonna do in terms of actual economic policy to reduce grocery prices, and she's talking about, oh, the American dream is out of grasp for so many people, and we know this. What are you saying? I mean, I'm getting frustrated because it's so stupid. These are the people who are elected to positions of power. For Pete's sakes, the woman you just heard on screen was the tie-breaking vote in the Senate for the last 2 years. I mean, it's insane. I can't wrap my head around it. You know, I never say this, but I'm going to say it this time. Share this video. Share this video with every undecided voter that you know. I mean, if they were to see those two comparisons, no one who's intellectually honest with a good conscience, who's not a complete partisan, would ever vote for Kamala Harris if they saw that clip, or at least if they saw those two clips being played one after another. And you know what? I guess since this is the exercise, we're now sending this video to people who are on the fence. We should probably finish the video with this C-SPAN call that I've been holding in my video bank, in my little clips bank for a while here. If you're someone who's watching who thinks Donald Trump's too bombastic, he's, quote, unpresidential, you find he's scary, whatever it is, the mean tweets, if you're that person, just take this approach.
Roger in Kansas on the line for Democrats. Good morning, Roger.
Yes, I have where my main issue, I'm going to close my eyes, and then I'm going to vote for closed borders. I'm going to vote for less taxes. I'm going to vote for more reasonable energy costs. And if you vote, close your eyes and vote that way, it's a pretty simple choice because both candidates have a history. So you just vote on that, and I don't have to tell you who I'm voting for.
Just close your eyes and frankly suck it up, Buttercup, because the other option is simply not feasible. Anyways, that's pretty much what I...
Yeah. What an amazing video put together. Shout out to Liberal Hive Mind. And again, I want to thank you guys for all the love and support. We are 42 days out, you guys. 42 days out, man. And it's amazing. We've got literally so many emails, comments, DMs, letters. People who have written to me about thanking me for waking them up. Never Trumpers, tons of never Trumpers, man, that are now on the Trump train because of content creators like myself and many others, man. And I got a lot of love for a lot of content creators. I've gotten to meet and speak with so many content creators on this platform and other platforms through this journey, man. So it's been a blessing, you guys. But we are 42 days out, man. It has to be too big to rig, man. And we encourage everybody to go out and vote. Prayers for Trump, man. Because again, like I say, we are not against a candidate. We are against a corrupt system, a machine, you guys. And you know, looking at everything that's happening now, and you know, you see inside jobs are trending and all this other stuff, man. Just had a second attempt on his life. You know, prayers for him and his family's protection, his campaign, his team. We don't know what to expect next, you guys. So prayers for Trump. You know, 40 some days out, man, and we are rocking and rolling. And he's actually skyrocketing right now. In polls, they do want a second debate. They said there's not going to be another debate, but you know, who knows? You know, Trump said this, and that, and you know, he said, you know what, let's do it. But I don't think they need another debate. But what do y'all think? Comment down below. And hey, I will catch you beautiful people in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.